Whoa, you're blonde now. How inconsistent. Oh, hi. Welcome to the Rewinder Library. How can I help you? Yeah, so I'm looking for a rewind that's easy to pick up and put down and just kind of unwind with. Sure, we've got tons of that. Let me go look. That's great. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll take the Super Deluxe Mega Pack, however much that is. I don't think you fully understand how pick up and put down or the rewind system works. I want a game that I can pick up and put down, but with enough levels to not have to put it down. You know what? I've actually got an idea. The year for this one is 1994. Let me set the scene for you. You're excited to get home after a day out with your friends, and you guys have just seen the new movie The Mask because you won a game of rock, paper, scissors and chose The Mask over that kids movie The Lion King. Your friend, however, is not as eager to get home. He's willing to take the slow way home and just cruise to the new Ace of Base song, The Sign, on repeat. You want to get home because you've got a copy of Sonic 3 that you just rented from Blockbuster, and you really want to find out what that expanding Knuckles cartridge really adds to the game. But you are not worried that your friend is taking the slow way home because you've got something that they don't. You, my friend, have the hit new arcade game Donkey Kong on the Game Boy. Now, of course, if you're any normal, reasonable, rational person around this time period, you're asking yourself, what's this little cartridge and this little children's toy got that a big Strog arcade doesn't? I can get all this for $0.25 down at the local arcade. Let me blow your mind. Sure, I get that. It starts off like any other thing, right? You pop it in. You got your same basic 4 levels. It opens up the exact same way the arcade does. It's not worth anything more than $0.25 yet. I get it. You go through the first level. You're saving Pauline. And we're gonna go on a rant about that later. Anyway, you go through the first 4 levels. It's easy, it's breezy. You've done this a million times, you've got the high score. But then something unusual happens. Donkey Kong wakes up and he steals her again. And my brother in Hoobastank, the game adds 97 more levels. This little cartridge is almost 24 times the size of the arcade cabinet, which in a modern lens is like, well, yeah, duh, like my phone's more powerful than an arcade cabinet. But at this time, they weren't doing that. For the premium gaming experience, you went to the arcade. All the best games premiered in the arcade. This thing is not a sequel. This is the deluxe, super duper mega lovers edition of this game. And I love it. On top of the 97 additional levels that this game adds, and I'm gonna stop having the Game Boy in my hand because it's shiny and kind of screws up my lighting. On top of the 97 additional levels, every 4th level is a new boss fight with some mechanics now stolen from the Donkey Kong Jr. games. And Mario's movement has been completely revitalized with backflips and handstands and climbing and being able to throw hammers, and the ability to fall a certain distance without dying immediately. You go into this kind of rotational spin just like the barrels, and if you hit your head you die, but almost any other position and you either hit a front flip or you just hit this weird kind of sexy nap position, and you're not dead, so that's a big up. The game is a huge step forward from the original arcade game, and is considered in multiple lists as some of the best Nintendo games that was certainly out at that time, and even to this day, some of the top 10 best Nintendo games that are just out or that are the most influential because of what a huge step forward this was in every possible case. Later is now, and I want to go on a rant because it bugs me, but in the way where I feel superior because I know these very trivial things but not all of you necessarily do, and I want to keep flexing it at parties like I'm Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'll leave you alone forever now. Thanks.
So, because this game is essentially a expansion of the first Donkey Kong game, that means that this character is Pauline, not Peach. Pauline would be the original love interest of the series. That means that this Kong, while called Donkey Kong now, is then later retconned into Cranky Kong, and that the main character, not titular character, main character, is not technically named Mario yet, but named Jumpman for the way that he jumps man. Really, the Cranky Kong and Jumpman thing, I don't personally care about. That's even why I think I've already called him Mario once in this video. But I do want to put some respect on Pauline's name. I see too much people talking shit about her like she came out of nowhere or that she's a homewrecker. And she's a babe, and at this point, didn't even have a name. She was only labeled as the beautiful girl, and I don't think she got a name until the first instruction manual. So you can't tell me that the first love interest, that all we know about her is that she's the girlfriend and the beautiful girl, is a homewrecker. This is a PSA for you guys to back off of Pauline. I'm a big Peach fan, but back off. Get out of here. Okay, so I did pick the Game Boy back up, but it was because I wasn't really sure like what the best way to get this next point across was. But like some of these songs are a bop for, you know, being 16-bit or whatever they were. Check this out. That would be a quick way to get demonetized if I was monetized. But the question is, just like it always is for this channel, is Donkey Kong 94 up to snuff to be worth your time today? Does it hold up against other games? And is it still fun for you? Let's discuss. Yes, it slaps. The game slaps. It's not really worth my time to like drag that on. I had a lot of fun doing this rewind. Obviously this game has recently come out for the NSO for Switch and Switch 2. And so with that, you can make a save state any singular second of the game and, you know, pause it wherever you want. But if we are assuming that you're playing it on a Game Boy, every 4 levels you have a boss fight, and that boss fight acts as a checkpoint and it'll ask you to save right after that. And you can kind of do an entire like 4-level run while you're pooping if you don't go for the 100%. The game has collectibles in every level that I would kind of consider the difficulty slider. If you're just trying to get the key to open the door, there's a certain level of puzzling and platforming that's involved in that. But if you do want to collect the items, the hat, the parasol, and what the internet tells me is a purse, but I definitely thought was just a lock for some reason, then that's obviously going to make each run a little bit more difficult and each run a little bit more intricate in how you have to solve certain puzzles. So, I mean, I'd say that's a feature even, right? Like you've got people who want 100% it, so you get all the items, and then every time you get all the items, you get a little roulette wheel to get more lives, which does help out. Or you can kind of just bare minimum it, and it's still fun, and it's still puzzling, and you still have to do the platforming and the acrobatics, and honestly, you still get health every, like, at the end of every round, I believe, based on how much time you have. So the game's not really punishing, it's just fun. It was always designed to be picked up and played. Obviously the inspiration was, is it worth a quarter, yes or no? And this is, can the kids play it in the back of the car? I like platformers. I like games that don't try to take my whole life to play, and that's for sure one of them. So if you have a Switch or you have NSO, it's for sure worth your time because it's zero investment. But if you can get your hands on it in any other way, it's a good time. It's definitely something to do, at very least, in between other stuff. It's entertaining, but honestly, I enjoyed this thoroughly as its core entertainment. I sat down just to play this game, and I had a lovely time with it. Previously to this rewind, I had played this game a lot as a kid. I mean, I was going through some battery life with my Game Boy, which is impressive because the Game Boy can last for like 30 to 40 hours on 2 AAAs, which makes it better than the Switch 2 or the Steam Deck, so that debate's over. But I was just blowing batteries on Mario. I was just having a ball. I remember that when I was like, I don't know, 5 or something. And I did it again. I had a lot of fun. No downsides, good game. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking this out. And if you like what you see, feel free to comment or subscribe. And let me know down in the comments why you hate me or you think I'm wrong. I'd love to hear it. Thank you.